Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel.
2023 SheBelieves Cup is underway.
First U.S. game has happened, but the first two games of the tournament have happened.
So that happened Thursday? Thursday it happened. We're actually recording this Saturday morning, so a few days after the game happened. But we're hopefully going to get this out Saturday night. So, because the next game is actually tomorrow on the 19th. But first game, that was fun to watch. U.S. Women's National Team were the winners, and it was an exciting game. But we're going to talk about it because we had talked about it kind of before. We've all been hopeful about seeing things click a little more.
We've all been worried as well. A lot of people have been worried.
Yeah, but also the climate of which the game was played, that cannot be understated with what, Canada, what's happening specifically with the Canadian team.
They're going through it.
Yeah, and it does kind of remind me of when the U.S. went to games over in Europe. In the report, the Sally Yates report had just come out, and it's just like when you're expected to perform at such a high, the highest level, so many heavy things are on your mind and you're dealing with at the same time.
Right.
It's hard to compartmentalize those things, but these people are able to do it because they're strong competitors.
And they have to.
Yeah. At the end of the day, they have to. Because as we talked about last time, Canada has been dealing with has been dealing with for a long time their problems with their federation. This goes back years, and it finally came to where they wanted the whole world to know, hey, these are the circumstances where we have budget cuts in a World Cup year, and it's just so heartbreaking to see the Olympic champions have to deal with those kind of things. So we talked about that. And actually for this game, they kind of said, they're like, we're protesting. Obviously we're playing, but we have to play because we're going to get sued if we don't play.
Right.
So, they had the shirts, the purple shirts.
They had the purple shirts that said enough is enough.
Yeah. Yeah, they had those, and it was a protest. And then actually the Canadian soccer players did put out the statement, what they were wearing, that says,
"Tonight, our players will be wearing purple as a symbol of protest. Purple has historically been associated with efforts to achieve gender equality." Oh, no wonder it's my favorite color.
Yeah.
Wow. "Considering the current circumstances, our players will continue to wear purple until our association has standards in place that ensure equal treatment and opportunity."
Yeah, so the purple will continue throughout the games. But at the end of the day, they're competitors where if they have to play, they're still going out there to win. But going into the game also, they had that moment where they got in the circle before the game started. And, that was just to show unity. The American players as well were on, they understand the fight. And together they said, enough is enough, and we're going to fight for what we believe is just and fairness. So they had that moment, and they also had the wristbands that were they said defend trans joy, and that was another kind of, I don't know if protest.
Oh yeah, because they played in Florida, right?
Yeah. So there's a lot going on the whole context of the game. But at the end of the day, we were excited to see them play because that's what they want to do. They want to play. But going into the game, we were excited. Even just to see, Lavelle was out. She was injured. And I think I saw Vlatko say if it was a World Cup game, she would be fine to play. But it's extra precautionary.
Right.
So she was out. Trinity Rodman got a start. Mal Swanson, who was on fire, she was starting. And also it was Alex Morgan's, the ceremony for her 200th cap. Because I believe it was in December, but they had the ceremony there. So all her friends and family were there.
Yep.
And so that was nice, and Charlie was there. So going into the game, super pumped. And from the get-go, United States looked so good, so fast.
They were attacking. They were getting the ball
within the first minute. Ashley Sanchez, Kailen Sheridan, had to save that ball.
Such a beautiful save.
And they were so quick, so fast, right out of the gate. They meant business, and that was so exciting to see.
I know. It was definitely different from the U.S. Women's National Team we've been seeing lately.
I was excited to see that too, because even playing New Zealand or whatever, it's almost like, okay, New Zealand's kind of a mid to lower tier team in regards to rankings. Canada is ranked number 6 in the world. Yeah. It's almost like they knew they had to go out fast, hard, And they did it. It's like they knew what the job was they had to do, and they did it. Opposed to maybe going against New Zealand when they know, New Zealand's not the highest ranked team, so we can lay back a little more. But no, they went for it. They went after it. And that first 10 minutes was so nice to see. And then, like we said, Ashley Sanchez in the first minute had a strike. And then in the 7th minute, Mal Swanson scored the first goal, and that was very exciting. It was such a strike, and that was it.
It was a striking strike.
Yes. It was an awesome goal. I mean, he has such focus. I mean, everything was leading up to that goal too. It would have been a letdown if they did not score in that first 10 minutes, how strong they came out.
I know. Especially Mal. She was coming and she was showing.
Right. Kind of was a little bit of a physical game. Alex Morgan went down in the 9th minute. Alyssa Naeher went down for a bit. And that's always scary to see, just to see, okay, what's going on? Did they get hit? And then Mal went down. I don't know what minute she went down, but she went down hard. When she came back up, she was breathing really heavy, remember?
Yeah.
She went down hard. So it was a bit of a physical game. But the first half, after that, about the first 10 minutes, the pace did slow down a little bit. But first half was, I think, all United States. Obviously, they scored twice in the first half, but it was all United States for the most part. And then in the 34th minute, Mal scored again, 34th minute. And that was exciting to see because, I mean, she's just on fire. She looks great. The only thing, I don't know if you even heard this, Sarah, the only thing that was a little bit, they talked about Mal at the very end of the game, or maybe it was the halftime. They go, Mal had this resurgence in the last 12 months or so, maybe more before that. She wasn't on the Olympic squad, but she's had this resurgence. And they asked Vlatko, why do you think this resurgence has happened? And then he said something like, I guess they said what he had said. I don't think he said this when they talked about it, but then they said what he had said, that, I think Dansby has had a good effect on Mal, or that everywhere Dansby goes, he wins or something. I'm like, that's a weird thing to say. Like could
have just said she's happy.
Yeah, to
I get what in a good place.
I get what that whole sentiment is. You're married, you're in a good place, you found the love of your life, but can't you just say that? Do you have to bring up, it's because of Dansby, where he goes, he wins everywhere he goes? And
I'm pretty sure Mal's making it happen because Mal's making it happen.
I thought that was a bit of a weird thing and I get it, she's happy, but that was just a weird thing. He's like, he doesn't have to bring in his name. Yeah, I thought that was weird. That was a great first half. Also, in the 43rd minute, there was an amazing save by Alyssa in the 43rd minute.
Yes.
And if she would not have made that save, it could have been a whole different half going into the second half if she had not made that save.
Yeah, I was having beautiful flashbacks.
Because it switches momentum. You're only one goal down, but she saved it, and that was vital. Second half, the 46th minute, Emily Sonnett came in for Crystal Dunn. And then in the 61st minute, Ashley Hatch came in for Alex Morgan. And then in 61st minute, also, Christy Muoz came in for Ashley Sanchez. Second half wasn't quite as good as the first half. Canada got the rhythm back. And in the last 10 minutes, Canada really had some good opportunities to score. Mm-hmm. It was very close at the end. They had a few opportunities where it was on their side of the field for a lot of the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I was a little nervous.
I think they had a few corner kicks at the very end. It was very close at the end. For Canada, so they were not out of it. They really, the second half were stronger. In like the 82nd minute, also Sonnett went down.
Oh, did she go down?
Yes,
she ate grass, dirt. She ate some worms. She went down like 3 feet underground.
And people were trying to lip read what she was saying.
Oh, I saw an F-bomb there.
Yes, because she was not happy. And then Sarah saw this. I didn't see that she.
Forget what player it was. Obviously, Canadian player. But I forget which one. And she went up to her after she got up, and she's like, they gave him the pat, they shook hands, and she's like, "Are you good? You all good? All good, yeah." And then Sonnett's face at first was like, yeah, all good, and then it kind of dropped a little bit, was it good?
Yeah,
was it all good? Kind of like that. Oh, I'm faking that it was good, but
it really wasn't.
Low key wasn't good. Oh yeah, Jenna Hellstrom,
and she got a yellow card for that. But Sonnett was not happy, and she could have actually been really, really seriously hurt. And then at the end of the game, 2-0, USA victorious. And like I said, Canada, they everything that's going on. I mean, I don't want people to, and it's not like Canada doesn't want people to say that, oh, everything that's going on, that's why, we didn't look as sharp as can be. But that's reality, because but second half, I thought they looked looked okay. There was definitely a lot of bright spots. And the USA's rhythm, I think with some of the substitutions, the rhythm wasn't as crisp as the first, half. But USA, and actually somebody said they thought Lindsey Horan in this game looked as good as she has had in a long time.
Yeah, I agree.
A lot of people said this game made them re-excited for the U.S. women's national team. They said, okay.
Yeah, it definitely did.
This excited a lot of people by seeing them go against Canada, a 6th-ranked team. Because we're kind of saying both things. We're saying Canada is 6th-ranked team, but they're also dealing with a lot. But both can be true. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but fun game. The next game is tomorrow against Japan, U.S. women's national team.
And hopefully, when we watch it, we won't watch the rerun of the first game. Hopefully
we have problems. A good thing it's a different team, because I think we would notice it.
I think we would. Yeah.
But also, I read this that, even Japan, so it's SheBelieves Cup, it's World Cup year. Japan isn't even broadcasting these games, not only not on TV broadcasts, but they're not streaming it anywhere for the Japanese fans in Japan. And
strange.
I thought that was very strange because, and Yūki Nagasato tweeted this. She said,
no broadcasting, no streaming for SheBelieves Cup in Japan. The Federation let it get fans down. It's World Cup year. This is crazy.
Yeah, so we talk about the Canadian having its problems, but Japan, they have won the World Cup in 2000. They're World Cup champions, and they're not streaming these important matches in Japan. So this is,
women's sports. We got to do better.
Yes. Let's see if I see that. Japan apparently didn't send anyone over who knew the Twitter password. So Nahu, which is Kawasumi, live tweeted the game instead of the team's actual Twitter account. What the hell are these federations even doing? Yeah, this is wild. So, good game for the United States. Hard circumstances all the way around. Also, that game against Japan and Brazil they played was 1-0. And Marta was there. The return of Marta. I believe it's one of her first games, if not her first game.
Oh, yes.
So she was playing. Also, the Arnold Clark Cup got underway. And England, they looked great against Korea. Scores 4-0 and such strong strikes. Every single goal, I watched the highlights. Every single goal, such strong strikes.
Nice.
They're the team to beat.
Yeah,
you can't deny it. They looked great. And also all the other tournaments that are going around the world. The tournament of France. How do you say that? France. I'll give that it. But they have Norway, Uruguay, France, and Denmark playing. Then the Cup of Nations is playing. Spain, Jamaica, Australia, Czech Republic. Actually, Australia beat Czech Republic 4-0 in that game. Then also they have other matches going around. And one of the specific matches that happened, Austria played the Netherlands on yesterday, and they beat the Netherlands. Austria beat the Netherlands.
Whoa.
So that was exciting to see as well, because Netherlands obviously doesn't have Viv right now, but they beat the Netherlands, such a strong team. So it's exciting. Excited to see the other games from the international break happen. Tomorrow it's going to be USA versus Japan, and we will see how that goes. Brazil was victorious in its first match against Japan, but we will see. We're excited. What does everyone think? What did everyone think of the first game? What did everyone think about what match around the world were you guys watching? Questions, comments down below. What did everyone think? We will be back. Have a great night.
Love you. Bye.